Hi, and welcome to Mercy's Open House and to the library. I'm hoping to introduce you to some of the fabulous things we get to do in our lovely library space at Mercy. Today I wanted to just cover a few things fairly quickly. The things that go on in the library are, there's very many things, but the primary one for me with the girls is the research lessons and learning how to use the databases, and we'll talk a little about that. Talk about the Tinker Space and the creative problem solving class, which is just so much fun. We will talk a little about the Global Reader Out Loud and some of the other book club type things that we do in the library or based through the library. We're a library, we have some books. I'll talk a little about those too, and about study hall, which is happens every period during class time while we're on campus. But to start, the most important thing, I think, for our girls as a college prep school, we need our girls to be really ready for doing work in a college environment. And one of the things that's been proven to be a leading indicator of success at college is for students who know that they can and do use the library and use the library databases. Their databases come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. We've got about 25 of them from several different suppliers. And my job is to make sure that they are comfortable with using them and use them effectively and know when and where to use which ones. So to do that, I get a chance to teach all the freshmen a couple of times through their first year. We talk about how to access, give them some basic searching tips, and talk about which one is better for which topic. There's also a freshman class called Study Skills, which I highly recommend for anyone who is coming into school. The class covers a whole lot of different study, how to be effective with your studying, how to be effective with doing homework, how to keep track of everything. It's a really great class, and the final unit in that class is research and how to use the library effectively for research. They come to me for, I think last year it was 9 classes. We had a great time, and they learned a lot more in depth about what's available and how to take advantage of what's there. So I highly recommend the Study Skills class for freshmen. Sophomores come into me a couple of times, and we talk about source analysis and how to identify which of these 5 different sources are better than others for their particular topic. So that would be identifying which magazines are more neutral or less neutral, or have more or less analysis versus reporting. So it's a class where we talk about the quality of news. And I give them some advanced searching tips so that they can identify exactly what they need on the topic that they're looking for. Juniors and seniors tend to come to me when a teacher has a specific activity that they want to work with. For example, in history, we might be looking at fake news, or in English, we might be needing an ability to find some academic articles on Pride and Prejudice. Those sorts of things, that's when they come to me. And a question that I get asked in all of those classes early on is, what is a database? So databases are, in our case, collections of newspaper, magazine, academic articles, primary sources, speeches, all sorts of different sets of information. These are the front pages of 2 different ones. Global Issues is a fabulous collection of resources that are referring to things that are happening in other countries as well as the US. Issues and Controversies, we can see here, this is only a very partial list. I couldn't fit any more on the page of sorts of issues that they cover. And each issue will have a huge number of different articles based on things coming from the news, things coming from academia, things primary sources, and video, some videos, some images too. Our databases are very powerful, very useful, and I really want to be sure that kids are learning how to use them effectively. So that's the research side of things. And now we're moving to the fun bits. The library has been developing in the last few years a fabulous tinker space. We have lots of different tools, lots of different equipment, lots of different ideas and materials. And recently we've been offering a creative problem solving class to utilize everything in there. And mostly to give the kids a chance to be creative and to put some sort of creativity and design thinking pieces into the STEM story at Mercy. So these are some examples of what we've been doing in the last semester when we've been doing distance learning, which was a bit of a pivot. We include some different units on electronics and robotics too when we're in person, 3D printing and design. We've done a little bit of simple coding, although I'm not even sure the girls have recognized that they've done that. It's much more fun. We're about to start a unit on using sewing machines and incorporating all of that into hopefully a final project that will be something geared towards the Mercy critical concerns. And we have a bit of fun with it, I think, too. For example, I just need to show you this little video we all put together at the very beginning of our unit. It's good fun. Make a bit for you. So that was kind of cute. I enjoyed that. And we all had fun with that one. That was a great unit. In the bottom here is an example of some work we did in Tinkercad, which is some simple block coding, and then the code builds up a 3D image or a 3D creation, which if we were on campus, we would be printing. The girls also designed each other a bedroom. It was a little bit of a design thinking program. So we're thinking about learning from the other person what's critical to them about having a great bedroom and what really appeals to them, and then building for that person rather than for yourself. So there was some really good questioning that went on, and questioning is really key to all of these, pretty much anything that happens with me in the library. This right-hand set of balloons and buttons is actually a 3D electronics project. And you can see right in the middle there's a little LED that's lighting up. And I just love this one. We're working a little with LEDs. In person, we would also be supplementing that with some more sophisticated work with Arduinos and things. We're making do with distance learning as best we can. But the creative problem solving is all sorts of fun. While we are working remotely, these are the sorts of classes. This is the setup that I've put together for our classes. We have a learning target and things that we're going to learn. This was the lesson that we started talking about block coding in Tinkercad and using variables and loops and things like that. And the aim was to create an earring, to design. So there was a little design thinking, design an earring that would be that you would like to wear. And this is what they came up with, which I was kind of tickled with. I think they did a great job. I'm very proud of my creative problem-solving girls. So, more traditional library topic is books. While we've been remote learning, we've pivoted to ebooks, and the library is a member of the Bay Area Independent School Librarians Association. It's about 47 schools which contribute to one collection of ebooks, which means we have a lovely deep collection of young adult novels and a little bit of nonfiction, but mostly novels. I'm on the committee that helps select those books, which is incredibly useful, which means that NOSI does make sure that we have our own priorities are considered when the ebooks and audiobooks come up for purchase. So I think our ebook collection, I'm very proud of it. It's very up to date. Some of these titles are only 2 or 3 months old. The 2 graphic novels I put down here, I just want to mention that we have a good graphic novel collection now. We're building it up. There are some amazing graphic novels out there. These 2 are exceptional. The School Teachers, The Odyssey, I think it's a sophomore class. They have Gareth Hines, who's the author of these 2, and several others, has taken the details of the originals and illustrated them in such a way that's probably beautiful, and they're so much more comprehensible. So for someone who's really struggling with figuring out what the Odyssey is all about, these graphic novels are fabulous. And not just Gareth Hines with the classics, but there are some coming-of-age type stories that are just beautiful and really connect with people in the graphic novel area. I can't speak highly enough of the current push in graphic novels. Sorry, that's my whole topic. Moving on, study hall is a place where is a class. It's an elective that juniors and seniors can take to allow them space and time to catch up with homework and projects. Some of our girls who are taking more than 1 or 2 APs are really crunched for time. And I think it's actually a requirement that if you take more than 2 APs, you are expected to take study hall. There may be exceptions, but it's one of those things that makes a big difference in the ability to get everything done, particularly because many of those kids will be seniors and juniors who are looking to do work on college applications. So study hall is a time that is fabulously useful. They come into the library to do it where it's quiet, and I can help them out if they need it, and they can go meet with counsellors and teachers if need be too. So that's pretty much the main pieces. I missed the slide about. I have to go back and talk about Global Read Aloud. Sorry. Global Read Aloud is a discussion on this particular book this year anyway. It's been going for 10 years. This year I chose to join in because of the choice of the book. Stamped is a fabulous remix of Ibram X. Kendi's book called Stamped from the Beginning. It's been rewritten by Jason Reynolds, and who is a very highly respected young adult author. They have, between them, pulled together a fabulous discussion of America's history as it relates to racism and to slavery and to the modern era. This comes right up to the 1990s in its discussions. The book is absolutely basic to the critical concern of racism, couldn't be more to the point. It's a voluntary participation group at the moment. We get about 20 girls coming in once a week to sit and listen to one of the staff members read, faculty and staff read for a section of the book. And there are a subgroup of those girls who are interacting with other schools around the country, and there's one school in Canada involved, comparing notes and what we think and how we're learning from it. I think it's been a great success. The English Honor Society is going to host a similar event next semester, and this, along with other book clubs that we run through the summer and through the year, is just an example of places where I get a chance to go and help out with the various curriculum. Also, we should talk about the English department's use of co-reading, which is fabulous. And I get to help select some of those books, which is always great fun and something I really enjoy. I'm very proud of this English department for doing this. Their co-reading is something that if you have a chance to go visit them and ask them about co-reading, absolutely do so. It's a really great program. I think that was the end of my presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free. Email me. I'm always there. I'm responding really quickly. And I'm always happy to talk about my library and the space and the girls and how amazing they all are. Really look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you are having a wonderful open house. Thank you. Bye.